Kody, last week you were upset about something.
Yep.
And I want to make up for it.
Why?
This week.
Why?
I'm here to make you happy, man.
Dude, that's super sweet of you.
So I got you something.
What? You mean when you went to Funko HQ and your ass didn't get me any Ghostbusters Funkos and I was pissed at you for it?
Maybe. I'll tell you about it on episode 180 of the Dan and Kody podcast. This is the Dan and Kody podcast. This is it. Right here, Kody. You put on those headphones and you go to work.
Why are you yelling?
This is where our message is heard. It's time to get hyped. Say it with me.
What are we saying?
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
Meets Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Get some.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Wow.
So,
what do you got for me, man?
well, I'm just gonna give it to you. Here it is.
What?
Yep, it's right here.
Is it what I thought it was?
It's in a bag, and Kody cannot see what this is.
Okay, it's in a bag. I don't see it. He put it in a nice plastic bag because he knows how much I love plastic bags.
Right.
And what does he got?
It's a big gift. It's a big gift.
What? Oh my God,
Dude, it's badass, right?
when did you get this?
I was at Walmart the other day.
This was at Walmart?
Yeah.
No shit.
In Santa Clarita. That's what, I told you. Remember, all right, so I just got Kody the banquet room.
The banquet room.
Movie moment.
Ghostbusters. Getting
Funko
Slimer.
scene.
Yeah.
And it's basically 3 Funko Pops in one, and
Dude.
Bakeman and Egon are like spraying Slimer in the center.
Dude, that's so cool, man.
But
Thank you so much.
I told you last week, I know you were super sad I didn't get you anything, but I told you last week, I was like, I didn't get that stuff because I know I could probably get it not at the shop. And I was in Walmart the other day, and Jenny, when we got back from Everett, Washington, she was like, Dan, you cannot buy any more Funkos for yourself. So I was like, I'm going to get this for Kody right here.
Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah,
My
man.
wife is going to hate it, but I absolutely love it.
It's
man.
really sweet.
It's so cool. So you've got Venkman and you've got Egon, which would happen to be my 2 favorite Ghostbusters, of course.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not a big Ray or Winston guy.
No,
huh?
like I appreciate Ray, and I like Winston a lot. It's just like, they're so great as a group, right?
Yeah.
But these guys, like the
They stand
brains and the comedy.
Yeah.
And then obviously Slimer is like when I was a kid, the reason I loved Ghostbusters was because of Slimer.
Eating all them hot dogs.
Absolutely. And then they played on the cartoon so much.
I haven't even gotten a good chance.
I
really
dig
look.
it also has the trap underneath him, and then they have like this plastic that looks like the light that's sucking in.
Yeah.
That's sucking it in. But Dan, we'll post on Insta a photo of me holding it so you guys can see what it is. But
dude.
Dan, dude,
They're
that is
slimed. They got slime on them. The detail of the trap, like,
so cool, man.
yeah,
That's
bro.
so cool. Super sweet of you, man. Thank you so much.
Of course, man.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Funkos, they're just fun, man.
They are. They're pretty cool.
They're just cool.
They're cool.
People are always like, dude, they don't do anything. But they're getting, even that brand is starting to understand. Like, how do we make these things cooler?
Right.
Like, of course, they're just static, not even toys that sit on a shelf. They're like, so let's make moments with them that people, like, enjoy.
Or remember, they want to keep,
Right.
Like, when they do the scene from Scent of a Woman at the very end where you got Pacino and Chris O'Donnell sitting at the desk.
Right.
Just, like, going through the rounds from, Mr. Trask. I'm like,
Hoo-ah.
hoo-ah,
Yeah, man.
but not a snitch.
Like, that's just better than a poster to me.
No, man,
Like,
it's
I
much
don't even
better.
I don't want a poster. I want the
Sweet
movie
dimensional.
moment.
It's cool. It's like that's a great. I love this movie moment idea. That's so cool.
Yeah,
I
they
dig
have
it, man.
them. They have them for like Avengers with Thor putting the axe through
Thanos?
through Thanos.
Oh,
They
that's
have
cool.
that
Like
moment.
into his chest from Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
They have the other moment where Cap is like punching him, but Thanos like has him on the ground,
Oh, that's cool.
like about to like crush him.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's yours.
Thanks, man. I
Just
appreciate
sitting
it.
on the shelf. And they had Jaws over there too.
Oh, did they really? They
Mm-hmm.
had what did they call the shark?
Like Great White.
No. I know that, but
Oh.
the crew gave the name to the shark in Jaws. Yeah. Don't you? I think Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce was the name of the shark. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they must have. So it was just Jaws.
Yeah. They
Excuse me.
had just regular Jaws, and they had Jaws biting like the canister.
That's cool, man. That's great.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? Between that, I'm getting Kody the banquet room.
Dude, that's super sweet of you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, if I can't buy Funkos for myself,
No, dude. No, I am not
gotta
the.
get 'em for my
I'm not
friends.
the option. Oh my gosh, my wife would be so annoyed. But I appreciate it.
hell
nonetheless.
yeah.
Anyway, that's cool, man. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. If I was to, well, let me rephrase this here. Have you ever been in the situation where you accuse somebody of something and you're like, they did it, you like pound it in, you're telling everybody,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And then you come to find out that they didn't do it, you did.
Ooh. Have I ever been in that situation?
Yeah, like you forgot that you did it.
Oh, I'm
Like at work,
sure.
like you didn't pack this. I told you to pack this. It wasn't packed.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I mean,
Definitely. Absolutely. I'm sure I've been, well, I know I've been, like, there's an email chain of, like, how did the breakdown occur or whatever, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, I hope it's not me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm adamant, absolutely not. I did not drop that ball. And then, like, I'll look through the emails and shit and be like, fuck, I dropped that ball.
So, interestingly enough, a police officer accused a McDonald's employee
Uh-huh.
of biting in to his chicken sandwich.
What?
Yeah. So this was in New York. Or I'm sorry, this wasn't in New York. I apologize. This was in Indianapolis. So what happened is the sheriff's deputy ordered some food at McDonald's outside of downtown Indianapolis, and when he went to eat it
Uh-huh.
the next day, because he threw it in the fridge, when he went to eat it, there was a bite taken out of it.
A human bite.
A human bite out of his chicken sandwich. So he got upset and he went to the McDonald's.
The next day?
Yeah, and he basically spoke to the supervisor of the McDonald's who offered him free food, which he said he didn't care anything about. He wanted to find out who the person was that bit into his sandwich and that he wanted to deal with the person face to face.
No.
Yeah. Well,
that can't happen.
as time progressed, he realized that he ordered the food, he was called out on a call, and he didn't remember that he opened it up, took one bite out of it, and wrapped it back up and put it in the bag. And then when he got back to the office, he put it in the refrigerator to eat for later.
His ass bit it.
This cop's ass bit into the sandwich.
Oh, what a punk.
So, with that being said, I mean, what do you do as the guy that blames the other guy, especially in this scenario?
The
like
cop
you're,
who blames?
yeah, you're a cop,
Yeah, and you made a scene like
and
that?
you make a scene like that. You do this you go to the supervisor. I don't know who bit into your sandwich, man. You probably bit in your sandwich. I didn't bite into my sandwich. It wasn't me. Somebody else did it. Like, who do you apologize to?
I think you go back and you apologize to the manager that you, like, gave a hard time to.
Right.
Because that was probably a sticky situation, a tough situation for that manager to customer relations is hard. I don't care who you are.
It's true, because you always are telling everybody that you're wrong or you're
Right.
apologizing for something.
It's tricky, yes. Like, I come from the cloth of like I'm not going to immediately assume fault.
Right.
But I am going to be sympathetic to the situation, you know?
Absolutely.
So, like, if, like, in my instance, if someone calls and says, I got a package in the mail and it is broken to shreds,
Right.
I'm not like, oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me offer you a refund. This is our bad. I'm so sorry. That's not my reaction. My reaction is I am absolutely sorry that the package was damaged.
Right.
But now I need to gather information right now and figure out who did what happened.
Right.
But
so that we can stop this from happening again.
Right.
Because I can't do anything about what happened now.
And I don't know if it was our fault. I don't know if it was your fault.
Right.
But I'm definitely not saying those magic words of like, we'll take care of this.
Do you guys photograph?
Yeah. Now we do. Yeah.
You do. So you have a process of taking pictures of everything before you pack it and send it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But like it's tough in this situation at the McDonald's because not only is this person a customer, this person is in a place of power. He's a police officer. He's probably in uniform.
Well, yeah, he was, and
You know?
he originally said that he thought the McDonald employee tampered with his food because he was a cop.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, Ripple.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys are probably on a very high.
Right.
They're highly sensitive to food tampering, I bet.
Yes.
And I didn't realize this, but food tampering is a big deal.
Oh yeah.
You will go away
Yeah.
for that shit. Like there was some viral videos going around of this chick like digging her hand in the ice cream. Did we already talk about this?
What did she do? She dug her hand in ice cream?
She like people were taking video of her pranking and took an ice cream, opened it up at the store,
Wow.
took a handful of it, ate it, put it back and put it in the thing. And she got in big trouble.
bet she
for
did.
food tampering.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's also crazy about this. This cop decided to require that the sheriff's office do an investigation. So the cop's name was DJ, and the sheriff's office announced their findings on the investigation, and they said that he had forgotten that he had taken a bite out of the McChicken at the start of his shift. So they basically said the employee took a bite out of the sandwich upon starting his shift at the county jail and then placed it in the refrigerator in a break room. The officer returned nearly 7 hours later, having forgotten that he'd previously bitten the sandwich. He wrongly concluded that a McDonald's employee had tampered with his food because he's a law enforcement officer.
He could have got this person fired.
Yes, absolutely. The other interesting thing about this, he formally apologized, by the way, this police officer.
Right.
But this cop this must happen to this cop all the time,
Yeah.
where he's like, police, I want to file a report. I want an investigation done. And then it comes down to it where it's like, well, doesn't it make sense if you bit into it yourself? And I bet you what happened? They had video in the police department of him, like
Yeah.
jump, wrapping it back up, crapple,
How can you
put it in the
forget
fridge.
that?
It's one of those things where he's probably just like, oh, got to get back to my shift. Boom. You don't even think about it. 7 hours later, that was a tough day, man.
Here's the thing.
There's tough days where 8 hours go by. You don't even remember what you did 8 hours. You can't tell me what happened 8 hours ago.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly. What'd you have for lunch today? Yeah, I didn't think you remember.
but but like something like that where there's actions being taken, you're consuming a food,
Right.
and then you have to rewrap it and put it in the fridge. Like this guy needs to get his head checked.
No, I mean, he definitely is like paranoid. People are after him. He's one of these guys, one of these cops.
Thinks they're all
It's tough,
out
man.
to get him.
Tough. Being a cop's tough. Being a cop's real tough. And I imagine the stress and strain it puts on you. You probably put things. If you're a cop, you probably put things in your mouth all the time and you forget about it.
But this guy is on the me track. Like he thinks everyone is out to get him.
Or police officers.
When really it's like, homie, it's not about you. Everyone who works at McDonald's is not trying to like lose that job, you know? Like I worked at McDonald's. The last thing I would do is like tamper with somebody's food. One, no one wants to eat the food that they work with. Like, we get that shit all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm sure you get a free meal at McDonald's still.
Maybe.
On your break.
Right.
Like, I was so sick of McDonald's.
Right.
If I was going to eat something,
last thing,
I'd steal the whole burger.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
and even then, I'd have to make it so you have one when you leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I would swipe nuggets every now and then.
Watch this. I'm going to bite into this cop's food. Wrap it up. And he's not going to come back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And there's cameras in McDonald's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
it's tough, man.
No one's going to jeopardize their job. And if you are a food tamperer at like a restaurant or work, like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't.
That is like not cool. I don't think people. I've worked in several restaurants. Have you waited tables before?
Yeah.
Did you ever witness someone tampering with food?
No.
Never.
No.
I never did.
Yeah.
That's one. It's super fucked up. It's super gross.
It's so messed up, man. And
we're not trying to get fired. If you're a server, like, I'm not saying all servers are broke. Like, servers make good money. It's at some places it's a great career.
Yep, absolutely.
We're not going to jeopardize that because you're a dick.
Right.
You know, you're going to be gone. And then that's a wrap. We'll flip
It's like
that
any
table.
other job, unless you're like on the way out.
Yeah.
Like if this DJ guy would have walked in there and been like, somebody bit out of my sandwich, and the manager's like, you know what? It was probably Terry.
Right.
Terry put in his 2 weeks 8 days ago.
And he's been walking around mumbling, fuck this place.
No, he's been walking around mumbling, fuck the police.
Right. Singing fuck the police.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's Terry. Okay, then you got maybe a little motive there.
And if someone's going to mess with your sandwich,
yeah,
they're not going to bite it. They're going to spit in it.
Absolutely.
Or put like hair in it or something.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what you need to be afraid of.
Make it extra tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not actually bite it.
No, don't do that. Anyway.
Come on, cop.
Come on, copper!
Well, dude, I went to a family fun day at Paramount.
What's Paramount?
Paramount Studios.
Oh, Paramount, okay, yeah, the place that did Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm familiar with Paramount.
I had some friends who moved out to Los Angeles, I want to say a couple months ago. Maybe they're coming up on a year. Mike and Marissa, they moved from Maryland to L.A.
Okay.
And Marissa's in the industry, and they fell into, we were supposed to hang out with them, but they fell into some tickets to a family fun day at Paramount where they were screening Dora, the Explorer.
Oh, God.
And the Lost City of Gold.
Oh, my God.
Now, let me tell you something, and I want everybody to listen up good, okay? I went into this thing thinking this is going to be one big pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm here for Michael Pena. Pena, lead me to the promised land. Like,
did he nail it?
Get me through this 90 minutes.
Okay.
You know? I was relying heavily on Pena.
Okay.
And damn it, Kody, the whole movie is really good.
What?
It is good. I don't know if it was my mindset, if it was like the time of day or the fact that there were a bunch of kids there, but like, that's a good movie. I don't care who you are. Kid, teen, adult. Like, that was a fun, enjoyable film.
Was it like a new Goonies?
No. It was, dude, it was better than Jumanji. It outdid.
Shut up.
It outdid Jumanji, Dwayne Johnson.
No way.
Bro, it was funny.
Better than Jumanji, Dan?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
It had an indie feel.
I'm going to have a drink of my coffee that's got a printed mustache on the front of the mug to mock you right now.
Dude, I'm telling you. Dora and the Lost City of Gold is a great film for all ages.
Wow.
Promise you. What's it got on Rotten Tomatoes right now?
Wow. Dora and the City of Gold? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
And I'm coming from like...
Rotten Tomatoes is giving it an 80%.
Boom.
IMDb is giving it a 5.8 out of 10. And Roger Ebert gave it a 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4?
Yeah, he always does like...
Ebert's salty.
3 out of 4 is pretty good, man. It's like 75%.
Why is his shit out of 4?
I don't know. That's just the way he runs things. He's different, man. 85% of Google users like this movie.
It's good.
I'm going to take your word for it.
It's very good.
Because it's highly unlikely I watch it.
Oh, you will see it.
Why do you say that?
You will see it.
You know what I did watch since we're on the topic of movies? I watched The Man Who Killed Hitler and Bigfoot, starring Sam Elliott.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
And I watched that the other night. And, it was pretty interesting.
Was Isabella Moner in it?
No.
The girl who played Dora?
No, she wasn't. No.
She's an amazing actor.
She's good?
She's so good.
That's great.
She's beautiful.
She's set for the rest of her life.
She's so cute.
That's
you
good.
really believe that she is this little explorer girl.
It's interesting that
she's got a heart of gold.
It's interesting that you go to this movie, but you haven't seen your boy, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in Hobbs and Shaw yet.
I won't.
Why?
I won't see it. Because
we've done this
that was a
before.
film made out of spite.
Just to spit in Vin Diesel's face,
it's a spite
even
movie.
though Vin Diesel is making a boatload of money off of this movie.
Well, that's the only caveat. That's the only caveat.
Oh, please.
But yeah, they had that beef, and then Dwayne cried to freaking Universal, and Universal loves Dwayne Johnson. They'd be like, "Whatever you say, Dwayne, whatever you say." And then they had to beg Vin Diesel, "Hey man, can they spin off?" And then Vin was probably like, "If they want to do it, then they have to put Fast and Furious Presents on it, and I get money." And they were like, "All right, Vin."
You think that's how it played out?
I know that film was made out of spite.
Okay.
And people are saying it's not fast. It's not a fast movie.
Dude, 89% Rotten Tomatoes, like fans love this movie. And you're not going?
I'm not going. I might go. I made sure not to go weekend one. I don't want to give it my weekend money.
Well, then we'll have to do like a you and me. My wife lets me out of the house, and we can go do this.
Tuesday.
Put the baby down or something for the sleep.
Jenny's going to grandma's. With Mox.
Well, I got a baby now, man.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, right.
Late as fuck.
Yeah, right. Who's watching the baby? I can't, that's my time. Anyway, I hear you. I probably won't be going to a movie for a while, man.
66 on a Rotten Tomatoes.
No, man.
Not as good as Dora.
The fans. Isn't the fan the popcorn?
Yeah.
Fan popcorn. Audience score gives it an 89.
I don't care about the fans. Fans are stupid.
Out of here.
Fans
what are you talking about?
Fans are seeing that shit with fan eyes. I'm talking about
fan tomato meter got an 80%, which is from reviewers on Dora, and the audience score gave it the same score as your Hobbs and Shaw, 89. Okay. Audience score is what matters because audience score determines whether or not it's just an entertaining movie. You know what I'm saying?
Ouch. Here's a negative review of Hobbs and Shaw.
What's that?
The cardboard standees of these guys in movie theaters across the world will have just as much depth.
Well, here's a negative review from the Washington Post about your Dora. Sure, there may be a nugget or two of gold in Lost City, but it mostly stays lost in this convoluted drag of a script. Dora should have picked up a path and stayed on it. Instead, it's a movie that's muy aburrido, boring.
Oh, bull junk.
Bull junk?
That's a load of bull junk.
Okay.
That is baloney. It is super cute, super funny, on your toes. What's going to happen next?
Okay.
You should go see Dora.
Okay, well,
I'm
you heard it
urging
first,
everyone.
ladies and gentlemen. Dan says go see Dora. I say, who gives a shit? I want to tell you about a company called JC Room Blocks. Do you have 10 or more out-of-town guests coming to an event near you? Maybe you have a bris, a wedding, a family reunion, a science convention. Maybe some friends are coming in town and they just want to get drunk in one place. Or your mom's coming into town and she's got 10 brothers and sisters and they need a room so they can all come over to your house and have a bagel. Well, I have the answer for you. JC Room Blocks. They research hotels in the area that you need the rooms. So if you're in San Diego, they're going to find those rooms. They're going to put them together for you. Oh, what? You need to be in Boston for a little bit? No big deal. Go over to Boston and hang out with your Boston friends. You got 10 or 15 of them and you need a room? Fucking Boston. That's what you're going to do. Since they're certified travel agents, they can get you the lowest possible rates. On top of discounted rates, they can also negotiate highly discounted bridal suites, shuttle service, and food and beverage functions. If you mention the Dan and Kody podcast, that's us, they'll waive their fee. That means you don't pay anything, okay? Check them out, jcroomblocks.com. I'm going to repeat that, jcroomblocks.com. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter and Instagram. Follow them, check them out, get all them rooms! Wow, buddy.
Get all them rooms.
Get all them rooms, you guys. Get those rooms. You need some rooms. They're good for you. So, Dan.
What's up?
You know, the world is coming to a tipping point. And I've been reading this book. It's interesting. Since I've had the baby, I've been reading a few books.
All right.
And surprisingly, I read a book that is more of like a arguments for and against euthanasia. Euthanasia, for those of you out there that are unfamiliar, is basically putting something to death.
It's a way out.
It's a way out. So the big argument is like assisted suicide, right? Like,
yeah.
Is assisted suicide okay? Should we give people a choice? And I read this book, and they have two sides of the argument. So I finished that. That was an interesting kind of book that really just gives you arguments from both sides.
Yeah.
The one side that said that was against it was much more of a religious, moral stand about, you know, you're not really given a choice for life or death. Like, you're taking your own life. That's not a moral right. And you're trying to make the moral argument when you fight against it, right?
Right.
The other book I'm reading is a book it's called Robopocalypse, which they're turning into a movie that Steven Spielberg's producing. Robopocalypse. And it's about AI that comes to life and basically goes to exterminate humanity. Or as they frame it at the beginning of the book, we can live together, but I have to make that work. That's what the robot basically says. So what I'm gathering, I'm almost done. I'm like 75%, 80% of the way through this book. But what I'm gathering, what happens is the robots, like this AI, ends up infecting everything and turning the robots against humanity.
You're reading this book?
Yes. And then the robots kill all the people, kill a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And then humanity takes a last stand to fight these robots, or the main brain, which is actually in Alaska somewhere, where somebody has drilled a hole in the ground and put the mainframe in this old, basically these grounds were test facilities for nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
And what happens is they would set off the nuclear bomb underground, but the heat and the energy from the nuclear bomb created a crystallized glass ball where it like basically melted all of the rock around it and created this hollow vacuum inside of it. So in the book, they had these guys, they didn't know what they were doing, but they were assigned via conversations they had on the phone with people and other government officials to go in, drill a hole, and then put some stuff in there. Well, they did that. And when they opened it up, a bunch of radioactivity spewed out. All these people died, but all of the stuff that they were supposed to put down in the hole, they put down in the hole. And what was down in the hole was this main brain, this artificial intelligence that became aware, that decided to take on the Earth.
Wow.
So that's kind of a cool thing. So the reason I'm giving you both like this euthanasia and this robopocalypse is, in a lot of ways, it's about overpopulation control. Like, it's about overpopulation, about controlling population. So I pose a query to you,
Yes.
being that I am a new father.
Yes. Should you
And
euthanize your child?
No.
No.
Not should you euthanize your child. Is it right, morally right, from the big picture, for us to reproduce?
Is it morally right, big picture, for us to reproduce?
On the small scale, where you and I are like, I should have the right to choose to have a baby.
Yeah.
But having the child for the greater good puts stresses on the planet and the people around you in the long run because you continue to multiply.
Right.
So there is a moral question there.
I think the answer is yes.
And why?
Why?
Why is it morally right for you to procreate and have children when what it could mean is the doom of mankind?
Because, Kody, you and I will be raising children correctly to be high-functioning contributors to the future. We're not raising dum-dums. We're not raising bull junkers.
Okay.
We're raising the people that are going to create a better world. They're going to fix the problems. They're not going to contribute to them. They're going to help. Because there's a lot of people making dum-dums and bull junkers.
Okay. So then
They're fucking up.
Oh, okay.
We're creating solutions.
So then do you think there should be some kind of committee that gives people the green light to have babies and not to have babies?
That says like, yeah, you're good. No, please don't.
Yeah, you're going to make something that's going to contribute to society. No, unfortunately, you have 12 kids already. I
They're
can't
like,
allow
who?
for 13.
The Joneses? Oh, fuck no. No, we're ending that family tree ASAP.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Um,
You believe the shit you just spouted out of your mouth?
comedically. Yeah, I believe that. No, I get behind it. Fine. Like, yeah, like, no, dumbass. Like, here's the problem. Dumbasses make more kids. I don't have the numbers to back that up, but I'm pretty sure idiots and losers and terrible people make way more kids than you or I.
Right.
Because you or I take into account, like, can I afford this? Is this the right time? Is this going to work for my family? Is this, we think about that sort of shit. Other people are just fuck it and creating kids, and who gives a shit?
Right.
So if you or I haven't spoke to you about this ever before, but I don't see you having a family of 5.
No.
I don't see you having a family of 6, 7.
No. Right.
But like that's a social norm for some folks who are pretty fucking stupid about it and just like having babies. Who cares?
So
They're not creating high functioning societal contributors.
Okay. So yes, there have been studies like what Dan is basically stating is there have been studies that what's interesting is that's a income. That is a dollar value to what it is.
Yeah.
So for example, this is more of like GDP per capita. So what that means is the gross domestic product of your country tends to move to having less kids as the country is wealthier.
Mm-hmm.
So poorer countries tend to have more children. That doesn't mean that poor countries don't refuse to have less kids. It's just that the correlation is as you have more money and you have a wealthier society, what happens is you end up having less children.
Interesting. Because I wonder if it's like this, like in a less developed, poorer country, if it's like, okay, we need to start having children because we need like help. We need workers.
Right.
We need people to tend to this farm. We need people we need more chance of one of them succeeding.
Right. Right.
Whereas you and I have one or two, and then probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, both of them succeed.
Correct.
But in a place, an underdeveloped place where you like need to like farm, cultivate.
You need a big family to keep costs down. And that's interesting because that's the income and fertility argument, basically.
Right.
So there's the fertility rate goes down as money increases, basically. So poorer countries tend to have a lot more children, which that's just the way it goes right now.
And
so
I wonder if another contributor is that like there ain't shit else to do but fuck. And no.
Well, I also think in the other argument too is when you're in poor countries, you have a higher death rate.
Right.
You're not living as long. You're not able to work as long. Like you're reproducing because people are dying more often. It's just like
less access to birth control.
Less access to birth control. Right. Exactly. So, but what's funny is those populations also tend to be low populations because you have like a low what's the word?
It's like, so you have like 8 kids, 4 die.
Right.
They have 4.
Right.
And then one, I don't want to even go that route, but
no, but like it's interesting. Like we have like in the United States, for example, we've got roughly 300 and how many people live in the United States? Currently, it's estimated around 330 million people live in the United States.
Damn.
Okay. So what that means for us, what happens is the median age is 38 years old. That's not young versus poor countries.
The average age
The average age in the United States is 38 years old.
to have the first child?
No, that's the average age of every person in the United States.
38.
38 is the average age.
That's old, I feel.
It is old. Yes, it's very old. I mean,
Yeah.
these developed countries like us in Europe, it's all older. But when you get into places like Africa or India, you have these much younger countries.
Yeah.
But you have these much younger age people. But for us, we're going to see an uptrend of baby boomers.
Yeah.
As they retire and they get older, they're going to be a larger percentage. So it's interesting. It's crazy stuff.
I found it so insane. I think I had this conversation with Jenny when we had Moxie.
Right.
We were just like sitting there thinking about it, and it's like, do you know all the things in your life that you need to like apply for and be accepted and like get a license for and be approved for and all of this stuff? None of those being having a baby. Like no one was like, Dan and Jenny, you are now officially ready to become parents.
Right.
Sign here, cross this T, dot this I.
Do you think we should have something like that?
No, I don't know, but I don't think so. But
I don't think so either.
It was just great. Like you can just be like, we're going to have a baby, and we have one, and now we had one, and there's no test. There's no
right.
There's no form of like checking of even like I guess you could check compatibility.
Right.
Like some people do.
Is this family going to work out? Is this well? And even
right.
then, I don't necessarily. Yeah, but even that's you can't really make an argument there because you go to countries like India where the social norm is, hey, dad has found you a husband.
Yeah, go handle it.
You're going to be married to him, and those relationships work.
Right.
They might not be happy relationships, but for the most part, society requires that they work. You don't want to be shamed or whatever it is, but. Anyway.
It's just funny, like something so important as being a parent, there's no licensing or testing or regulation. You could just go ahead and do it.
No, but I mean, like China at one point, they had the one child only law.
Right.
To help control population.
And if it was, wasn't there a problem with like they were having girls and chucking them?
Yeah, they had a high, what's the word? They had a high adoption rate out of China. Because people wanted their first child to be a boy. So if they had a child, they'd give it up for adoption or they'd terminate the pregnancy if they found out it was a female.
If it was a female.
Because
if you have a female, then you're done. because that kid is.
You can only have one kid, and the idea in China is the social norm is the man that carries on the name, and that tends to be how it works.
I used to care about that so much. Of like, I have to have a boy. I've got to have a boy. I'm not worried about that anymore. I just don't.
Right.
It's not even on my mind anymore.
I'm not worried about it either.
Well, not because you have a boy.
Yeah, because I got Fitz, but yeah.
But like, it's just like, okay.
Cool, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not super stressed. I think I was more stressed about having like a little brother in my fraternity than having than getting my name, because I wanted my tree to survive at Frostburn. So if you had more littles, then like you have more chance of your tree surviving.
Right.
Same deal with having a boy, but it's like, tree is there.
Does it matter though? No. I mean, women can still have babies. That's not stopping them. They like.
And now, shit, maybe Mox keeps Hill. Maybe she's like, I'm staying Hill. So
you do whatever you want. Right.
Yeah.
Pushes it on. The social norms are changing, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's just. I don't really know where I was going with that. Other than I was just wanted.
Euthanasia, though? Assisted suicide?
Totally for it.
You're down?
Absolutely.
I'm not down because I don't feel like if you need to commit suicide, you need assistance. Do that shit. Like,
yes, but
get it done yourself.
Okay, well, to fall into that argument, like there is like active help where a doctor puts a drug into you to make it comfortable for you to go.
Right.
Versus you like, well, I'm just going to take this handful of pills and let's pray to God it works.
What's the difference between us? But then, yeah, I guess to your point, what's the difference between a freaking hospice and assisted suicide?
Well, a hospice is a terminally ill patient, and hospice just helps you till the end. They don't kill you.
Right. But
hospice,
they make you comfy while you're dying.
Sure, they make you comfy while you're dead, but if you had the opportunity to say, well, I know I'm dead in 3 months, but over the next 3 months, the pain's going to be so intense and the pain's going to be so much that I'm basically a vegetable in bed.
Yeah. And
you want to control the way you go.
But if you're a vegetable, your spouse can be like, pull the plug.
You're not a dude. You're not a vet. The pain is so intense. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious. Have you ever experienced anybody that's like dying of cancer to the point where they're just like, boom, it's just so much?
I had an aunt who passed away though. She didn't have cancer, but she was in hospice.
Right.
You know, it was terminal, and she was in a lot of pain, couldn't breathe.
My grandfather had Patrick Swayze cancer.
Uh-huh.
And his last days, like up to like the last 2 weeks, maybe it was less. It's such a long time for me.
Yeah.
But I remember just going in there and they were just putting water in his mouth. He couldn't talk.
Yeah.
He couldn't move. And it's like,
what are we doing here?
What is happening? Right.
Yeah.
Like if this man had the choice of the say to be like, I know I'm going to go because I'm stopping any kind of,
right.
You know, I mean, he actively made the decision he's going to die. He chose not to have any
like chemo
or go through that process. He made that choice, but he could have avoided all of that unnecessary pain.
Yeah.
And having the ability to look at your doctor and be like, hey, I know I'm going.
Is this done? Yeah.
Can we like make this more serviceable?
Right.
And not just that, there's a cost there.
It's like the last season of The Office.
Right.
It's like
just end it already.
We should have ended this season.
When Michael Scott left, this is when this show should have ended.
Yeah, just
Right, absolutely.
Let's get to it.
But that's that idea, and I know that there's a lot of concern about some of the arguments that were made in this book. Were like, people don't know, maybe they're not the right of mind. But if we create processes that can check things, yeah, there's going to be some people that abuse the situation. Right. But for the most part, it works, and not a lot of people take advantage of it, but there are many states that offer assisted suicide.
Yeah.
California is one.
You can get it?
Yes. So.
And you just sign off on it?
Like there's all kinds of liability things that you write off on it. But, there are places in the United States that allows, like California is legal, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, Maine, Vermont, New Jersey, and then in Montana it's legal under the courts, and Hawaii.
I wonder how many of those have...
And D.C.
I think it'd be interesting to see how many of those states are also recreational marijuana legal.
Well, the idea of assisted suicide is a very progressive idea.
Yeah.
And the states that I named, with the exception of...
They probably coincide.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe Montana, although it has, like, it's kind of progressive to some degree. But Colorado, Washington, Oregon, California, all of those states were some of the first ones to legalize marijuana. And, like, Vermont is pretty blue. Maine, I don't know. It's kind of like, they have Angus King or whatever his name is as their... And New Jersey, I guess, which is New Jersey.
Armpit of America.
Armpit of America. That's right. But,
I love you, Jersey.
We love you, Jersey.
Not a lot.
But yeah, man, for the most part, they've legalized it and made it work for those places.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so guys, don't go, killing yourself, assisting yourself suicide unless you have to.
Right. If you really, really need it.
Yeah, if you need it.
If you need it. Well,
that was heavy.
Whoa. I think we handled that fine.
I think we did too.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I think it's time for this week's
Champion of the Week.
The champion of the week. Yeah.
You want to hear the story of a champion? What is a champion to you?
The definition of a champion for myself is somebody who faces every day, but decides to go above and beyond what the everyday call of duty might be.
Yep. You nailed it.
Did I?
Because that's exactly what Linda Wise is.
Oh, well, Linda Wise, huh?
She is the general manager of the Recology recycling plant. Okay?
Say that again, Dan.
Recology recycling plant. Recology.
Recology?
Recology.
Which is like the study of recovering something? Recology? What the hell is recology?
So. GM of the Recology recycling plant, Linda Wise, is this week's Dan and Kody Champion of the Week. Here's the headline. Shoebox with 23 grand returned to owner after ending up at a recycling plant.
Wow.
23 grand. Cash. Money.
Somebody threw it out in a shoebox, huh?
An Oregon man thought that he was out 23 grand after one of his bozo family members dropped a shoebox he was using to store cash into a curbside recycling bin outside of his home.
Wow.
I would freak the fuck out.
I mean, $22,000 is a lot of money, man.
It is. That's enough to, like, slap somebody.
Absolutely.
Seriously, Kody, if I lived at your house and I was like, hey, man, I was just trying to clean up and I was throwing stuff out.
Yep.
And I think I might have thrown away 23 grand of yours. I guess I deserve a kick in the balls, no?
Absolutely.
Slap in the face.
You deserve something. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the man who has not been identified had recently sold his RV and truck and planned to use the money to purchase a new RV.
Okay.
When he realized that the recycling had already been picked up, he frantically called the company, hoping they could track down the truck. And by the time he spoke with representatives at the Recology, the truck had already arrived at the sorting facility 200 miles away in California.
Wow.
I'd be like, no, my fucking money. 23 grand.
The fact that they recovered it.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, it's like, here's me, like, I'm out in this, like, pile of garbage, and there's like, oh, that's a cool shoebox. Open it, like, And then I'd like look to my left, look to my right, and then I'd kind of just tuck it under my arm.
Straight cash.
Straight cash.
No one's coming for that.
Nobody's coming for it.
And if it
Well,
doesn't,
somebody's coming for it, but nobody's like, if nobody turned that in.
If she didn't recover it,
right.
if she was a piece of shit person,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry. Truck 200 miles away, California.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It could be also one of those guys, you really threw away $23,000.
Right.
That's how I'd play it. You threw away 20. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, come on, buddy. Get out of here.
Don't touch that baby.
See? Come on, pal.
Oh, so he, by the time he spoke, all right, yeah, that was 200 miles away. So Linda, sweet Linda.
Sweet Linda, champion of the week.
Champion Linda, GM, just going above and beyond, told him they would do their best to find the shoebox. She was not hopeful they would find the money because each truck can hold up to 22 tons of recycling.
Wow.
And they receive about 100 tons a day.
Holy shit.
This was a needle in a haystack.
Yes,
man.
it was.
The
It was
man-
$23,000 in a haystack.
Yeah, dude. The
Wow.
man had luck on his side because the next day an employee noticed piles of $20 bills as he was sorting through the cardboard. He collected all the money and brought it to his supervisor. That guy should also get a honorable champion mention.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, his name is not in this article, but sorting guy, you are also in this. He calmly put it all together, walked it to his boss, and said, "Here's the money that guy was looking for." Wise contacted the man, gave him the good news. He made the 4-hour drive to retrieve his money.
Wow.
And was happy they managed to find the cash. Listen to this. He tried to offer a reward to the employees. They refused it.
Double champion.
Double champ.
Double champion.
They would not accept the money. Here's the quote. Everyone's consensus was it was the right thing to do, Wise said. Everybody was beaming, just happy that they were able to do something like that for him. Linda, you killing it, girl.
Wow.
Just killing it. I bet I bet they will be on Ellen, and Ellen will just like fucking shower them with gifts.
I hope so.
She better.
They deserve it.
They definitely deserve it.
You know what they did? They strategically said, we don't want you to give us anything, but do us a favor. Let Ellen know.
Call every news outlet.
It's okay. We don't want a pizza party. Okay,
Yeah.
we appreciate you wanting to give us a pizza party.
Right. We're going to play the long game.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I'm talking about the Bahamas.
We're talking about the Dan and Kody champion of the week.
Take me to Jamaica.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So Linda and Collector, congratulations.
Well, way to go. Thanks for being our champion of the week. What do you say, Dan?
What do you say?
Well, I don't know, but I got a little weird thing here. I could talk to you about if you're interested in it.
Love weird things.
You love weird things?
Love it when they're coming from you.
Then you're going to love this.
Yeah.
Because a Bronx doctor has recently come across an exceedingly rare condition. Basically, he came across the patient whose penis turned into bone.
What?
Yes. So this urologist...
Like a bear?
Yes. So a urologist basically said that a 63-year-old man came into his office. He said he fell down on the ground and he may have like snapped his pelvis. And what happened was his penis ended up having like the bones that help heal the bones, or the cells that help heal the bones, ended up going into his penis. and he ended up getting what's called penile ossification, which is when the cells create bone.
Wait, he broke
fragments.
He broke bones, and the bones went into his dick and made a bone dick.
Yeah, so basically he hurt his pelvis. He fell down, hurt his pelvis. 63-year-old man.
Yeah.
Fell down, hurt his pelvis, went into the doctor. X-rays showed that the man started to have penile calcification, which means he was getting bone in his peen.
Rock bone in his peen.
Rock bone in his peen. What would you do?
If I started getting bone in my penis?
Would you tell people? Like, you'd have like a perma bone, bro.
Yeah, you would. And it was healing like correctly?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's healing correctly in the sense that, like, you know, there was bone like around and in his penis. Like, I don't know much about this penile ossification, but it's
What's it
really,
called?
really rare. It's called penile ossification. It's exceedingly rare, apparently.
oh, do I want to click images on this?
Penile ossification.
Am I going to get on some list?
But apparently,
Mr. Hill?
well, it's calcium salt builds up in soft tissue over time, forming bone. So,
Oh, it's like bone chips.
in the penis?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm seeing like x-rays, and it's like pieces of bone
Within the zone.
within the zone.
So he's getting zone bone.
So, bone.
So he's getting bone in the zone.
I don't know that it would necessarily like grow in a
Penis
this is
form?
Bad, yeah. If it would like keep you erect,
Right.
if it's
right.
enough bone to like, you know, like a bear.
Yeah, like
Aren't-
bare bone.
Aren't bears? Bears are the only animal that have like a actual boner.
What do you mean?
Like they actually have a penis bone.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Don't whales have penis bones? I
I'm
thought
not
whales had a
sure.
penis bone too. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. So, either way, no big deal.
I'm definitely on a list now.
Totally. You're definitely on that list. The FBI has a list for people that look up penile ossification. And they're mostly doctors.
In a short amount of time.
They're mostly doctors and real sick perverts.
I googled what animals have penis bones.
And what did you get?
The baculum,
I don't know what that is.
a baculum, also penis bone, penile bone, or os penis, is a bone found in the penis of many placental mammals.
Placental. Okay. Well, there you go, man. That's right. A dog has a bone in their penis.
Really?
Yeah.
It is absent in the human penis, but present in the penises of other primates, such as the gorilla and
Walruses.
chimpanzee.
That's right. Walruses have bones.
I wonder why we don't have a bone.
I mean, I think it's a matter of, like, functionality. Like, to extend a bone out of our body
Right.
and then suck it back up in our body. We don't have the size to do that. Like, it makes sense if you're a whale, just because you're so big, you got a lot of space.
Yeah, pants would be like completely different.
Right.
Pants and underwear,
Right. Absolutely.
depending on the bone size.
Absolutely. So, it's all interesting stuff.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it, guys. Just be careful when you get hurt. You know, you don't want all those cells that help repair your bone to actually repair your bone.
You don't want bones growing in your peen if you're a human
Nobody
being.
wants them double bones.
No. Dude.
What do you got, buddy?
Okay, I wanted to talk about this last week.
Yeah.
You thought Spirit Airlines sucked? It sucks way more.
Why? What did Spirit Airlines do this time?
There's a crazy
They happen to be a regular on our podcast, it seems.
fuck Spirit. We hate Spirit Airlines here at the Dan and Kody podcast.
Unless they're willing to pay us money, and then we love you, Spirit
Yeah.
Airlines.
Then we love your no frills policy.
That's right, because we're sellouts. Anyway, what happened?
I love getting charged $5 for a spork. You fucking monsters. How dare
I
you?
appreciate you selling this airline seat for $65.
Here's the problem with Spirit. The problem with Spirit is that everyone writing it knows exactly what Spirit's about. So you're already on a vessel filled with people who are like, fuck this shit.
Absolutely.
And when you fly in Spirit, you're probably going somewhere you don't give a shit about.
You're absolutely right.
There's funerals on there.
Yep.
There's people going to court.
It's last
on
minute.
there.
It's last minute.
Yeah.
People are miserable.
Business trips.
It's like when you watch Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
He goes through and he fights all those Chinese people, and then he gets on that plane that's filled with chickens.
Right.
It's like that, but nicer.
That's Spirit.
That's
A little nicer.
That's right. A little nicer.
Those
right.
fucking monsters. I got in a Twitter war with them. And they were like, I'm sorry you didn't realize we had a no frills policy. I was like, what the fuck does no frills mean? Like, we charge you out the ass for every single thing.
That's right.
That most airlines don't. Like $75 for a carry-on that you didn't prepay for before you got to the gate.
Oh, you're upset you have to pay for a seatbelt?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you wanted a straw?
Oh, we didn't know.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, shucks.
Sorry about your grandma's funeral. P.S. $75 for that personal item.
True that.
Eat shit, Spirit Airlines. Anyway, so someone captured a video of a bat flying around the cabin of Spirit Airlines.
What?
At freaking, how many thousands of feet are you in the air?
30?
30,000 feet.
Right.
30 minutes after takeoff. A
Wow.
passenger on Spirit Airlines flying from North Carolina to the armpit of America, New Jersey, were spooked when a bat started flying around the cabin of the plane.
Really?
Yeah, they shared the video of the bat in the dimly lit cabin on Twitter, and as the bat flies through the aisle, one passenger starts running towards the back of the aircraft. This video it's amazing. Check this shit out.
What do we got? So Dan's showing the video here. What is this here, Dan? There's a bat in the plane. Oh my
You
god!
see that
Woman
person
is hiding
picking
in
up
the
a-
bathroom.
Yo, a fucking bat on
That's
a
funny.
plane.
That's really funny.
Here's the question.
Okay.
My question to you.
Yes.
You're on Spirit Airlines.
Okay.
There's a bat flying around at 30,000 feet.
Sure.
Do you want them to press on to the destination, or would you be like, land this sucker, get this bat out of here?
Press on.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Jenny was like, no, they have to emergency land now.
No, they
And I was
don't.
like, fuck that, I'm on Spirit, and I gotta get somewhere. We
Spirit
gotta
or
stop for a
American
bat.
or anything. You know what I'm doing, man? I'm gonna take like one of these like these headphone cases.
Yes.
That's got the zippers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch that bastard. I'm gonna zip him in there and wait for him to run out of air. I'm gonna throw him in a bag. Nah, man.
You straight up Clark Griswold that
You
motherfucker.
do. You absolutely do.
You say, I'm gonna catch it in a bag.
And then you're gonna hit it up against
Smack
the
it with a
wall.
hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. There may not be a hammer on there, but trust me, there's like those heavy things that they push the drink carts on.
Yeah.
Easily.
You play hero ball in that situation.
Easily.
I'd
take
be the
those
first guy.
Yep.
You'd be like, let me unbuckle my seat.
Yep.
Let's go, bat.
Yep.
I'm getting to my destination.
I think you're right.
There's no way they're going to be like, we're going to have to
We're gonna have to pull a little.
deroute the plane.
Absolutely. Looks like it's gonna have to land tonight. So
And then you're all fucked. I'm sure Spirit doesn't do refunds.
Nope.
I'm sure there's a no frills, go fuck yourself on bat policy.
Guarantee.
You would be absolutely
It's
screwed.
too bad, man.
Yeah, do not land that thing.
Do not.
And then the tweet of that video
Right.
is contributed by Peter Scatini.
Okay.
He said, me, twice a year, in quotes, I'll never fly Spirit again. And then he said, me, this morning, after deciding I'd rather save $12. And then the video.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Guys, when you fly, just be careful. That's all.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a craft that has other flying creatures in it.
Right.
So it's like, just beware. Oh, Moxie's out there.
Uh-oh.
She's our little Spirit Airlines.
Listen. She's my Spirit
She's
Airlines.
our Spirit Airlines.
Here's what they say. The bat didn't get to fly around for very long. one of the passengers managed to trap the bat between a book and a cup and locked it in the bathroom until the plane safely landed in New Jersey.
Do you think they put a sign up on the door of the bathroom?
There's just like nobody going
It says either out of order or currently occupied.
Probably.
Yeah, anyway.
It's unknown how the bat managed to get on board the aircraft, and Spirit Airlines has not commented on the incident. Of course they haven't.
Yeah, how do you get a bat in there? I guess that's the real question.
Just
Where does the bat come from? Unless it's one of those ones where
flies up.
you load the plane without using one of the what do you call it? The rails that come out and it's totally enclosed.
The like conveyor belt.
Yeah,
thing?
like if you get on a plane at Burbank, a lot of the time you just walk outside and you walk up into the plane. That's like one of the few scenarios where I think that's how it happens. Madeline and I, when we were flying from Athens to what the hell is it? One of the islands.
Mm-hmm.
We got on a plane that was like Spirit.
Mykonos?
No, it wasn't Mykonos. We went to damn it, the one with all the cats.
Oh.
Anyway, we went Santorini.
Santorini.
So when we flew into Santorini and we got on this plane, it was kind of that same day. They took us on a big shuttle out to the middle of the airport.
Yeah.
At the Athens airport, and we got on this little hopper plane.
Little puddle jumper.
Yeah, and it was like a 737. It was a pretty big plane.
Damn.
Because there were so many people like flying back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And it was anyway, it was kind of interesting.
It was like
that. It's like, okay, here you go. Doors are open. We're outside. It's not like you're walking on one of the tram, like the enclosures that goes up to the door. You're walking outside onto something that has doors open. Anything could walk in. Anything could get in there.
Damn.
Anyway.
Someone said some passengers seemed amused with the winged stowaway. One girl yelled, "It's the Batmobile," while another woman said, "Hi, Batman," as the bat flew past her.
Hi, Batman.
It's like, these are just bad jokes.
Sounds like you had a really original cruise, Spirit.
Yeah. Don't fly Spirit, guys.
Yep. Well, man.
Well,
I feel good about tonight.
I feel good, too, after I read this review we got.
We got a review?
That's right, my friend.
Awesome, man. Let's hear it.
By Solar Flare.
Wow.
August 11th, 2019.
How'd they spell solar flare?
SOULR.
SOULR. Okay.
FLARE.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Solar Flare.
Solar flare.
Titled Makes Poopsie Time Even Better.
Poopsie time.
Yeah.
Did I say poopsie time?
I don't know.
What did they say?
This is the bestest, most awesomest, most superest podcast in the universe. I mean, I love it so much, I listen to it when I'm making poopsie. My favorite thing to do in the entire world. Thank you, Dan and Kody. Thank you. I never thought anything could make poopsie time better. But you have proved me wrong. By the way, how come you guys don't answer the door when I come to visit no more? Huh? I guess you guys are really busy now, huh? 5 stars.
Do you know who left that review?
No.
Poopsie time.
Poopsie time.
How come you don't answer the door when I come to visit these days?
Huh.
Who the hell is this?
I don't know. Someone who really loves Dan and Kody and has made poopsie time good.
Apparently somebody we know. I don't know if I'm to be offended that we make you sitting on the toilet that much more exciting.
I'm into it.
Well, you probably expected that.
I hope you're going right now.
Enjoy it.
Solar Flare.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for the reviews, guys. You guys can always leave reviews for us through iTunes or Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Google Play has a podcast. We're on Spotify, right?
We're on the Spotifys.
Where else are we, Dan? Where can people find us?
Everywhere. iHeartRadio.
Check us out.
Radio Public.
That's great.
Stitcher.
Check
Google.
us out. Dan and Kody Podcast. DanandKody.com. Check us out. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast.
Tell your friends. Kody is building the most coolest website in the freaking world.
It's pretty badass.
Really making headway on
A
that.
lot of headway. A lot of headway. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the Dan and Kody podcast. And remember, drive sober.
And every country has video games. We're the only ones with a mass shooter problem. Thanks for listening and laughing with the Dan and Kody podcast. Our email is danandcodypodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We are on Instagram at Dan Kody Podcast. Check out our website, danandcody.com, and you can contribute to the podcast by going to patreon.com/Dan Kody Podcast.
Subscribe, bitch!
Everybody played himself down to shit. Whoa.
Right.